And we are back yet again after a 2-day hiatus. Shout out to the whole Beano Nation. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and hanging out with me. So, before we get into anything, y'all already know how we do. Make sure y'all are supporting the show. Anybody that drops 20 or more will be part of the Beano roll call. You guys know we like to get at least 10 people to kick the show off right. So drop 20 or more, you'll be part of the Beano roll call. We will read your messages first. If you want your messages read immediately throughout the stream, all you have to do is be a sponsor or a super sponsor of the show. To be a sponsor, all you have to do is drop 100 or more. To be a super sponsor, all you have to do is drop 500 or more. And your name will go on the ticker, and we will shout you out and read your messages first. So far, I see we've got 2 Beanos in the building. We only need 8 more. Make sure you guys are supporting the show. I don't know why people keep making the mistake of coming in here when the show just starts. Like, the moment I hit the live button, y'all know I don't start the show right away. I don't play any sound right away. I try to give many of you time to come into the stream and, start chatting in the chat so that I know that there are people here, right? So, Hatfield, I have Trump. Yeah, bye. Going back to what I was saying. I don't know what it is about people. Every single time that I start a show, and who knows, maybe I shouldn't be addressing this. Maybe I shouldn't kick as many people as I do out of the chat room. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for that. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe that's the reason why I get so much hate. But you know what? I really don't care, because I don't like the audacity. I really don't. And like, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a very, very long time.
I've been doing it for a long time.
So when people come over here like they don't know how I run my show, it annoys me. It annoys me. So as soon as I fire up the stream don't even be live 5 minutes. Somebody will come in and be like, it ain't started yet. I can't hear nothing. Where's the sound? Let me tell you something. If you click on my stream and there's nothing going on yet, and you're so bored that you don't know what to do, I have some suggestions for you. You could hit the super chat. You could hit the Cash App. And you know what you could do? When you hit the super chat or the Cash App, you could say, hey, Angryman, can't wait for you to start the show. Instead of coming in here trying to passive aggressively make me start the show sooner with all kinds of monkey ass demands and shit. I don't know how many ways I got to say this. Y'all gonna stop playing with me, because it's never the people that contribute to this show on a regular basis, the people that donate to this show on a regular basis, they never come in here and do that. It's always you punk ass individuals that don't never support the show coming in here making demands and shit, trying to rush somebody. And for everybody watching, just keep in mind that is a lesson that translates into all business. The people that demand the most out of your business are always going to be the ones that spend the least amount of money. if they spend any money at all. But I don't know how many ways I got to say, like, if you come in here talking any of that stupid shit, you're getting booted. Just like the dude that just came in here a second ago talking about some, well, I got Trump disappointment. Nope, you're out. Bye. See you. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of channels with content creators talking shit about Trump on a regular basis. You can go over to that echo chamber and wallow in it and just enjoy it. That's what I can't figure out. Why can't you go to a content creator's show that doesn't like Trump and just enjoy and commiserate with all the other fucking losers and just talk about how much you hate Trump instead of coming over here? Because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I could care less if you do or don't like Trump. But I tell you this, and we're going to get into this today. I can tell you this right now. To hate anybody that much is a mental illness. Now, you can make every damn excuse you want to make for it in the book. I don't give a damn. Anybody that hates any person that much, you have a mental illness. And you need to be medicated heavily. Heavily. You need to go see a doctor. Now, speaking of hating, right? So for the past 2 days, I took Saturday off. No, I took Saturday off live streaming. I still posted some content for you guys. So I took Saturday off, and then Sunday, I thought I was going to do a live stream. I went to go visit my sister and my mother to see how they were doing. And I thought when I came back, I would have enough energy to do a live stream, but, you know, I was kind of drained and, you know, wasn't really feeling up to it. So I was sitting on my patio. I was sitting under the gazebo, smoking a cigar. And I don't know, when I went to VA, you know, aside from seeing my sister and my mother, and I was glad to see them, I just looked around and it was like nothing was going on. And it was depressing to me, right? So when I came back home, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to sit on the patio and enjoy the peace and quiet, smoke a cigar and be alone with my thoughts. But then I made the mistake of clicking onto TikTok. And when I clicked on the TikTok, let me show y'all what came up. Let me share this. So I'm just sitting there chilling, enjoying the peace. And I click on to TikTok, and this is the first thing that popped up. Now, keep in mind, when I clicked on it, I didn't look at the entire picture. I looked at the top row. First, I read it. It said the content creator / podcasters with the worst takes in hip hop / rap. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, you know, you got Isaac Hayes Jr., Isaac Hayes III. I'm like, I don't really like his take. You know, like academics, you know. Then what's his name next to academics? I don't like his take, and I don't like Lil Buddy's take. And I looked down at the bottom. I said, what the fuck? And look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't know how to take it. Pause. I didn't know how to process this. Because on the one hand, I'm like, why is this individual hating on me? But then on the other hand, I was like, I was kind of flattered to be on the list. You feel me? Like I was like, well, shit, hey, I must be making some real noise. You feel me? For somebody to put me on the list with the rest of them, you feel me? So I didn't know how to process this. I didn't know whether I should be upset or if, you know, if I should have been like, well, shit, at least I'm on the list. At least I'm making some noise. You feel what I'm saying? And that individual definitely got to be a K-Dot fan. Definitely got to be a K-Dot fan. But I came across that list. I found that to be rather interesting, to say the very least. You feel me? But today, I got up and, you know, I got up early this morning and got to work cranking out content for you guys. And I was trying to get everything done as quickly as possible because I had to go and get my car serviced, right? So I was trying to get everything finished by like 1 o'clock because I had like a 2:30 appointment to get my car taken care of. So I get as much stuff as I can get finished done, right? And so then I go to, you know, to go get my car serviced or whatever, right? And so when I get there, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and wait for this freaking car to get serviced. I'm gonna hit up Uber and go to a restaurant and sit down and eat because I hadn't eaten anything, right? So it was I got there like 2:30. I hadn't eaten anything all day, right? So I catch an Uber to this shopping center that's like right next to the dealership, not realizing I could have walked, right? So I go out there and there's 2 restaurants and both of them are closed on a Monday. So I'm like, the Uber already left. So I'm standing there in the hot ass sun talking to my wife and I'm like, yo, it's scorching hot out here. I got to get out of this sun. So I call another Uber and I find this freaking restaurant. And it's a restaurant that's kind of tucked away, like it would be difficult to find, right? And so I get to this restaurant, I go inside the restaurant, there's nobody but white people in there. And I'm talking about country white people. You feel what I'm saying? So I go in the restaurant, and this is the main reason why I don't judge books by their cover. You feel what I'm saying? So I go in there and the lady that's waiting on me, super polite, right? And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to order. So I ask her, what's the best thing in here, right? And she said some fried chicken with, she said chicken fried chicken. And I was like, what's that? It's like, she was like, oh, well, that's where they batter the chicken and cook it and they batter it again, right? And she was like, it comes with mashed potatoes and this, that, there. I was like, well, no, that's a little heavy for this time of day. I was like, I'll just get chicken tenders and fries, right? So she comes back with the freaking. So at first, I'm like, well, how many chicken tenders is it? She's like, it's 4. I'm like, 4? Now, keep in mind, in my mind, I'm thinking about what I've been dealing with lately. Because I don't know if y'all have noticed. Have y'all noticed the shrinkflation? Have y'all noticed that everything you buy now, if you eat out and you get some, everything is smaller? So like I used to get the zingers from the ale house, and they used to be about that big, right? Now they're this big. Like they're making everything smaller, right? So you're paying the same amount of money, but everything is smaller. Even when you go to Bojangles, like, and get the chicken, get the chicken tenders from them, it looks like, and I told my wife, I said, it looks like they cut the chicken, like it looked like they took one chicken tender, cut it in half, and they trying to pawn it off as two, right? So that's in my mind while I'm at this restaurant. So I looked on the menu and it said that you could order a double where you'll get 8 chicken tenders. And I'm like, well, let me get a double. And she's telling me, you sure? Because they're kind of big. And I'm like, yeah, you know. She brings out this food. And oh my God, I'm not even gonna front, y'all. I was so pleasantly surprised. I'm like, damn, I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat all of this. And I said, wow. So now I'm starting to peep game. You can't, if you're going out to eat, don't even waste your time going to any type of franchise restaurant. Because they own some bullshit. If it's a franchise restaurant that's owned by a corporation, they own some bullshit. They trying to hustle people out of their money, right? You got to find these one-off restaurants that's not part of a chain, where the people actually give a damn about repeat customers and shit, right? So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to come back here, right? So y'all are probably like, okay, Angryman, what the hell does this story have to do with anything? You supposed to be talking about Trump and the game and all of that. Really, I'm telling you guys this story while we wait for the other Beanos to, support the show. Make sure you guys are supporting the show. We still need 7 people to drop 20 or more. Excuse me, 6 people. We still need 6 people to drop 20 or more. So absolutely, you have to support local restaurants. That's the best way. That's the best way to do it, is to support local eateries, right? And like I said, this was out in the country. This was out in Fuquay Arena, which is kind of out, but restaurant full of white people, polite as hell, nice as hell, right? So I get finished and I look on the tracker, because like where I get my car service, they have like this tracker that shows you it shows you the progress of your car, like if it's finished, right? So I call an Uber, and the Uber driver is in a BMW, and I'm thinking, oh man, they got a Uber driver with a BMW. It's going to be plush and luxurious and shit, right? He pulls up in this older BMW and shit, right? White guy, right? So I get in the car, and sure enough, the first couple of Uber drivers I had did not talk. It's just, hey, how you doing? They got music playing. That's it. I should have known the last Uber driver was going to be a talker. And my thing is, when I ride in Uber, I don't want to have no long ass drawn out conversations. I'm not trying to do all of that, right? I'm just trying to sit in the car, decompress. I'm not trying to make another friend, right? And so the guy just kept trying to talk to me. I'm giving him 1-word answers, and he just keeps going. So I'm like, screw it. I'll just go ahead and have the conversation with him. And that was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. So he starts out with, so are you from around here? And I start going into where I'm from, how long I've been here, and I stopped talking. So then he's like, he starts going into something else. I answer that question, stop talking. He just kept going. So finally, I opened the door. I was like, so are you originally from here? He's like, no, I'm originally from Massachusetts. And the moment I said that, he just opened completely up. Now, most people would say, well, what's wrong with that, angry man? Absolutely nothing if you're a talker. If you like to talk to strangers and shit, absolutely nothing. Where the problem came in is right after he told me where I was from was the next question. So after he tells me his background, where he's from, how much he likes the weather here more than Massachusetts, and how he misses certain restaurants and certain food and stuff like that, right after that, he gets quiet for a second. Then he looks up at the mirror, looks me eyeball to eyeball, and he says, so what do you think about Donald Trump? First thing I'm thinking, this dude is from Massachusetts. There is no way on God's green earth he is a Trump supporter. There's no way. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. So we still got a little ways to go. We still got about, I say, 5 miles to go, right? And I don't want to have this conversation. I don't feel like getting into this conversation, right? So when he asked me this question, I say, pertaining to what? That should have been his hint. That should have been his hint that I didn't want to have that conversation with him. Because when he said, what do you think about Donald Trump? I said, pertaining to what? Well, you know, the economy, politics, this, that, and I'm like, so when he says that, I give him the, That's what I give him, right? So I'm like, because I want to see, now I want to see where this is going. Now I really want to see where it's going. So I'm not going to give you enough to where you can be fake. I want to see where I want to see where you're really going to go with this. So when he said, you know, pertaining to politics, this, that, third, he looked at me. I was like, and didn't say shit, and just sat there and waited. And so after about a couple of seconds of silence, he said, well, you know, the gas prices is high and this, that, and third. And he starts going into this whole rant about Donald Trump. And I'm just sitting there listening. You know, I'm kind of scrolling on my phone and I'm listening at the same time. And he's just going. He's just going. He's just going. He's just going. He's just going, right? And so he's like, by the way, I got a TikTok. He clicks on, his phone is connected to the speaker. So he clicks on the TikTok. This dude literally is on TikTok doing Donald Trump jokes. Each TikTok is a Donald Trump joke. Now, I'm going to tell you what one of the jokes was. like soon as I heard the joke, like the way he presented the joke, he said, Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, and Barack Obama and a little girl are on a plane that's about to crash. And so I'm already like the moment he said Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and then a little girl. I'm like, oh my God, where the hell is this going? Because I'm like, what is he getting ready to say? Because I'm about ready to tell him, yeah, go ahead and let me out of the car, right? So on the TikTok thing, he's telling this joke, and he said the plane is going down, but they only have 3 parachutes. He said Oprah Winfrey said, I'm super rich, I deserve to live. She takes one of the parachutes, jumps out of the plane. Said Donald Trump says, I'm the president, I deserve to live. He grabs a parachute, jumps out of the plane. He said Barack Obama said to the little girl, you're the future, you take the last parachute. And then the little girl says, no, we have 2 parachutes because Donald Trump took my book bag. And then he starts chuckling like that's the funniest shit in the world. Now, when he said this shit, the first thing I'm thinking in my mind is, who the fuck do you think Barack Obama is? The fact that you would even formulate that joke like that, as if Barack Obama is so selfless that he would give his parachute to a little girl and save her life and sacrifice it. I'm like, who do you think Donald Trump is? I mean, not Donald Trump. Who the hell do you think Barack Obama is? Like, do you really think, like, bruh, he played at least 3. I can't even remember the other 3. I mean, the other 2, because I literally zoned out. I literally zoned out. But he was like, yeah, man, you got to be careful. You know, you if you get that Donald Trump disease, what are you talking about? And in TikTok, he said something about, yeah, if you get the Donald Trump disease, you got to take the blue pill in November so we can 86 Donald Trump. And I'm sitting there like, I'm thinking to myself, like, this is Donald Trump's 2nd term. Next November, you're not going to be voting for him. You're not going to be voting for or against him. What are you talking about? He even had a hat. He even had the hat. When he said this shit on TikTok, he picked up the hat and showed it to me. And the hat had an American flag on it. And it had 8647 on it. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get out of this freaking car. Like the whole time he was playing the TikToks, he was just so pleased with himself. And I just wanted to throw up. Like I literally wanted to throw up in my mouth listening to them goofy ass jokes. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, are you serious? And I'm just sitting there like, bro, something is wrong. Like this is proof positive that the media is extremely powerful when it comes to conditioning and mental suggestion. Because I don't care what anybody says. I do not believe that any of these people would be tripping this hard. I don't believe that any of these people would be tripping this hard if the media hadn't gassed them up to do so. And in addition to that, because somebody said it in the chat room talking about it was totally unprofessional. What I can't figure out is if you're an Uber driver and you get random people, because I know I'm not the first person he's done that with. If you're an Uber driver and you get random people, and some of y'all might be like, Angryman, you should have addressed it and went back and forth with, man, I don't, bruh, let me tell you something. In real whole life, I don't go back and forth with people that have Trump derangement syndrome. I don't do it. I don't do it. If somebody around me starts talking that Trump derangement syndrome, I tune it out for the most part. They'll be talking to me. I'll be looking at them like, word, for real? Seriously? Wow. He did what? Interesting. And I try my best to be as robotic and as sarcastic as possible, because I already know there's no point in trying to convince a person with Trump derangement syndrome that they have Trump derangement syndrome. It's an exercise in futility. You'd be wasting your time.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
Like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your mental energy. Right? So I get out of the car, and the thing that I'm thinking in my mind is, how unprofessional was that? Like, as an Uber driver or a taxi driver, why would you take your personal political beliefs or even your religious beliefs and just bombard somebody that's sitting in the back of your car with that bullshit? Like, how do you know they even agree with you? How do you know they even want to hear that bullshit? And look, the way he had that TikTok queued up, I know damn well he done that with a bunch of people. This mug said, take the blue pill. Do you have any idea? He said, take the blue pill. Bro, if you're using the Matrix reference, you're literally taking the pill to go back to sleep so that you can continue living in a delusion. Soon as he said, take the blue pill, I was like, okay. Oh, my sweet Jesus. Like, something is terribly wrong with these individuals, bro. Something ain't right. Something is not, it's not connecting up here. And we're going to talk about that tonight, because your boy Stephen A. Smith, he's lost it. He's lost it. Stephen A. Smith and quite a few other people have literally lost their minds. They've literally lost their minds, bro. Let's see how many people we got so far. We got 1, 2, 3. Yo, we only need, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only need 3 people, y'all. We need 3 people before we get into this, because I'm fed up with the Trump derangement syndrome. I am so fed up with it. I'm fed up with it. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Like, it's so predictable. And it's just like there is nothing in this world. There is nothing in this world that I can ever say that I am over more than this shit. I'm just over it, bro. That's why a lot of y'all like, Angryman, why you don't do the why haven't you done any political content lately? Why haven't you done the street conservative? I'll tell you the reason why. Because in order for me to do the street conservative, I have to really pay attention to political news every single day. And I get tired. I get tired, not of the politics, but this over the top, theatrical, fake ass outrage that everybody has when it comes to Donald Trump. I'm just tired of it. Like I'll hear somebody say something about Trump, and I'm just like, come on, you really, that's how you really feel? Like, stop it. That's not how you really feel. You're just trying to be part of the we hate Trump bandwagon. Like, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Like, I can't take it seriously anymore. I can't take it seriously. Anybody that has Trump derangement syndrome to the point where every single time Donald Trump does something, they think it's wrong. I can't take those people seriously. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And it's reached an all-time high. And I have no doubt in my mind that it's because of the media. It's because of the media. The media is the number one culprit. It has nothing to do with these people's personal opinions, right? It has nothing to do with these people's personal opinions, and it has everything to do with the media. They have been programmed by the media, and they're too stupid to know it. They're too stupid to know it. Yo, we only need 2 more people, guys, so we can get this thing rolling. Yeah, it's selective outrage. Yeah, it's definitely a psyop. It's definitely a psyop because they be mad about shit that don't even make sense. They be outraged about shit that don't even make sense. I was on a panel with somebody and it was like, this chick, right? I'm not even gonna say her name because I don't want to give her no shine, but I was on this panel with this chick and she was like, did you hear about Donald Trump building that ballroom? You know how much that ballroom is going to cost? Why does he think he has the right to build a ballroom? And I'm just sitting there listening like, a ballroom? This is what you're upset about. A ballroom. Because he's the first president to ever do anything in the White House and make any changes and shit. Yeah, he's the first one to ever do that. And I'm just sitting there listening like, and here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Nobody would even give a shit. We need one more person, y'all. Nobody, they wouldn't even give a shit about the ballroom if the talking heads on the media hadn't complained about it. Like every person that has Trump derangement syndrome, if you want to know what they're going to complain about, all you have to do is just go watch CNN. Like for instance, what's the name of the chick that Trump just did the interview with and he walked out on? What's the name of that chick? Interview where they're sitting across from each other and he dropped the mic on the floor, stepped on the mic, and walked out. What is the name of that chick? Welker. I can't stand her face. Like, I can't even watch an interview with her because her face bothers me. I'm not even gonna front. There's a few, there's a handful of journalists that I can't stand looking at their face. I cannot stand looking at their face. They got these strong jawlines, and they just look like dudes. And it's just like, bro, I can't. There's another one too. There's another one that looks like the brother from Yellowstone. Remember on Yellowstone, the brother that was a lawyer? There's a journalist that looks like him. She looks like that dude. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see if I can pull up the photo of the dude. This dude right here. Let's see. This guy right here. There's a journalist that looks like that. And it's a chick. Like there is a journalist that looks like that, and it's a chick. I can't think of her name, but she's always at the White House, and Trump always be talking shit to her. Caitlin Collins. Bruh, hold on. I'm gonna pull up. Hold on. Yeah. She looks like Jamie Dutton. This chick right here. This chick right here. Hold on. And they trying to show photos from back in the day. Nah, we want the 2026 photo. We want the post-wall photo. There you go, right there. That is. Look at that. Tell me that ain't Jamie Dutton, bro. Tell me that ain't Jamie Dutton. Look at that strong face, bro. Remember the world that we used to live in, y'all? Remember the world we used to live in? How many of you guys remember when we used to live in a world where they would actually pick pretty women to be journalists? Remember that? Remember when the journalists used to be beautiful women? Remember when they like right now, go look at the chick from the House of Dragons that's playing Supergirl. Supergirl was in the comics was always a smoking hot blonde. What is that? I told you they've messed up our world just to try to make everybody feel included. Look at this, bro. Look at that. Look at this, bro. Who is this? Bro. Who is this? Hold on. They love to play in our faces, man. Who is this? Someone please tell me. Who is this, bro? Bruh. And by the way, hold on. Let me zoom in a little closer so you guys can get a glimpse of this, right? I need you to see this. Look, check this out. See this? She has earrings. She has multiple piercings. So she's got 2 piercings over here and 3 piercings over here. James Gunn, how the hell did this Kryptonian get her ears pierced, bro? Could somebody please tell me how a Kryptonian got their ears pierced? Could somebody please tell me? And by the way, there's numerous dudes that she looks like. I mean, why not just have Matt Damon play Supergirl? You mean to tell me out of all of LA, out of all of Hollywood, this is who you pick to play Supergirl? This is who you pick to play Supergirl. She looks like, she looks like, what's the dude that played Adam Warlock on let's see, Adam Warlock on Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what she looks like right there. That's what she looks like. Like, why not just have him play Supergirl? Like, this is the world we live in now. This is the world we live in now. And they just keep doing it over and over again. I was gonna go see Masters of the Universe, and then I said, nope, I'm not even gonna go do it. I'm not even gonna go see it. I'm not even gonna go see it because I'm not gonna allow these new age libtards to destroy my childhood. I'm not gonna let them do it. I'm not gonna let them do it. The only live action Superman, the only live action, matter of fact, let's do that. The only live action Superman that I'm going to acknowledge is going to be Christopher Reeves and Henry Cavill. Point blank, period. The only live action He-Man that I'm going to acknowledge is Dolph Lundgren. Because, like, let's be honest, at least Dolph looked like He-Man. Let's be real. At least he actually looked like He-Man. This new dude looks like Prince Adam, but he don't look like He-Man. And you know what they should have done? I'm going to tell you what they should have did. But this makes too much sense, right? This makes too much sense, right? So this is what they should have did. What they should have done is they should have had him play Prince Adam, but then after he does the He-Man transformation, they should have had somebody else that was much bigger play He-Man. That's what he should have done. They should have let him play Prince Adam. And then once he does the He-Man transformation, you've got a much bigger guy playing He-Man. That's what they should have done. Because look at this. Like, who really looks like He-Man between these two? This dude looked like his freaking harness isn't even fitting him. His harness looked like it got slack in it. Meanwhile, look at Dolph. Look at this weak ass shit, bruh. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, one thing that the He-Man toys was known for, dudes was buff. Like, get some big bodybuilder dude to, bro. Like I said, it just continues. It just continues. And they're doing this on purpose. I don't care what nobody say. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to strip us of every single thing that we loved, every single thing that had anything to do with masculinity, traditional masculinity. They're just robbing us of it. Left and right. Left and right. So I was gonna go see Masters of the Universe, but I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see it at all. And that would have been really smart. They could have took the guy and had him play Prince Adam, because to me it doesn't make any sense for him to be Prince Adam, and then when he transforms into He-Man, he's not bigger. Like, most people don't pay any attention to that. And even in the cartoon, when he transformed into He-Man, he got bigger. He was swole. But shit is goofy. There's no way around it. And by the way, having Idris Elba play Man at Arms, like, bro, I'm so sick of the race swapping. I'm so sick of it. And by the way, to all of the black people, if you think that type of shit is progressive or beneficial, it's not. It's not. This is the main reason why black superheroes don't get the respect that they get, that they should get. This is the reason why you don't have an Icon movie. This is the reason why this is the reason why they keep stalling the Blade movie. Like, you got to stop thinking that the only way you can have black heroes is to race swap them with already established white heroes. Stop doing that. There's absolutely no reason that Idris Elba should have been playing Man at Arms. That's the dumbest shit in the world. Stop doing that. Just stop. Like, it's the goofiest shit in the damn world, man. And then you give white people the reason to get upset. And then when they get upset about it, and rightfully so, the first thing you're gonna yell is, "Oh, that's racism." It's not racism. It's not racism. It doesn't make any damn sense. And you want to know what's crazy? There is a black character in He-Man. There's already a black character in He-Man. What? Like, why? Doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense, bro. But Y'all already know what time it is.
Vino check. If you're in the building, show your work. Drop 20 on the Super Chat or Cash app.
Yeah, shout out to everybody for participating in the Vino roll call. Shout out to T. Allah says supporting the show. Thanks, appreciate you, bro.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
That's that Vino energy.
Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Corey. Corey said, I owe you. Okay.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to Harold in the building with the salute. Appreciate you.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to Corell. He said roll call.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to Kendra. Kendra says slow cook 'em AM. No one rushes perfection. Salute.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to my man Quinn. He said, what up, AM? Go Knicks.
That's that Vino energy.
Let's see. Shout out to Jenny. Said, I already know it's going to be cooking with all 4 burners going, the broiler, and lots of fresh grease.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to Chaos Raider. Appreciate you.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to Young Illuminati. He said, I learned a long time ago, never respond to someone asking if you're from around here. Once you respond, they don't stop. Yeah.
That's that Vino energy.
Shout out to Beans and Greens. He said, cook AM.
That's that Vino energy.
Yo, shout out to everybody for participating in the Bino roll call. I appreciate y'all. So let's start with this goofy shit. Let's start with this goofy shit right here. Hold on. Let me pull this up so y'all can check this out. Let's see.
What do you expect from the Garden tonight?
We'll get to the president and his presence in New York later. So we're going to start this off in a very good mood. Here.
Stephen A., you're a sucker. Someone please share this with Stephen A. Someone please share this with him. We'll get to the president's presence in New York in a second. Nigga, who the hell do you think you are? Who? Like sometimes I really be wanting to know, who does this possum face Negro with his hairline sliding off the back of his head, who does he think he is?
That's what I expect. I expect the garden to be shaken. You understand what I'm saying? The roof is unstable. That's what I expect. I expect noise to be reverberating, not just inside Madison Square Garden, but throughout the streets of New York City. I expect the San Antonio Spurs to be nervous about coming out of their hotel rooms. There ain't no walks in Central Park. Ain't no restaurant visits. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't none of that. You understand? They got to sit up there and send 3 buses and you can't know which bus the team is on. It's that kind of thing. I expect that kind of atmosphere.
Now, if somebody get hurt, or something gets something gets out of hand, they need to go holler at Stephen A, right? They need to go holler at him, right? For egging the shit on, right?
Because the presence of New York is expected to rain down upon these young pups that are going to win championships in their future. San Antonio's got a very, very bright future. It just ain't right now. This is the time. You won the 2 games in San Antonio. You are on your home turf. They don't know what the Garden is doing. People just don't understand.
First of all, who can take a man seriously in a pink suit? Could y'all take a man seriously wearing a pink suit? Can any of you in here take a man seriously wearing a pink suit?
They just don't understand. You understand? This is different. You understand? They are going to come inside Madison Square Garden and they are going to feel the palpable effect that you are supposed to feel when you are a visitor coming to Madison Square Garden. And
why doesn't he cut that bullshit off his head? Can anybody tell me why doesn't he cut that bullshit off his head? Why is he hanging on to that shit?
Trump had no right touching the reflection pond. Look at
What do you expect from the Garden tonight?
Well, you pounce on them and you let them know from Jump Street, you in a different setting. This ain't Oklahoma City. You understand? This ain't Phoenix. This ain't Houston. This is New York City, baby. You got to sit up there and understand. Make them feel the weight of the world raining down upon them. And
I mean, look at it. This shit is sitting on the back of his damn head, bruh.
you familiar with these rims? Mikal Bridges, you see the way Mikal Bridges been playing? I ain't got nothing to say about it. I don't mind those picks giving up for him now. Don't bother me at all. Not the way he played the game, too. Keep that up. OG Anunoby, keep that up. Mike Brown's coaching exceptionally the way he is. Keep it up, my brother. Jalen Brunson, find your shot. Find your shot. You've been closing. Damn it.
Oh.
President has no business.
This was the part that I saw. And when I saw this, I was just shocked and amazed.
I don't like it at all. This is a sports network. This is a sports show. I'm not going to engage in politics or policy. This is strictly a basketball segment. This president has no business showing up in New York City.
Pause right there. Pause right there. Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Who in the fuck is Stephen A. Smith to tell the current sitting president of the United States, who's from New York, that he can't go to a Knicks game? Has he lost his mind? See, this is what I'm talking about when I say, bro, the media has put a battery in the back of so many people that they have now gotten to the point where they say some of the dumbest shit known to man. So let me make sure I understand this. Spike Lee can go to the game. Lenny Kravitz can go to the game. Chris Rock can go to the game. Tracy Morgan can go to the game. Everybody and their mama from New York can go to the game except Donald Trump, who just happens to also be the president. Since when did these niggas tell the president what he can and can't fucking do? I'm trying to understand when that took place. Like, what are we talking? The man was born in Queens, and you gonna tell this man he can't, bro? I'm looking at the comment section. Look. This Negro said, somebody in the chat said, I am a Trump supporter, but I agree he should stay away from NY. What? So let me make sure I understand this. These people have been bending over backwards, fighting tooth and nail for the right of illegal immigrants to exist in this country. So much so that they're protesting ICE. Nobody's illegal on stolen land, all of this bullshit. So you're fighting like hell for people to continue living in this country that came here illegally, while simultaneously telling the president of the United States of America that he can't go to a basketball game in his hometown of New York City. Do you realize? Let's address this first. Let's address this first. Anybody that's a Gen Xer, anybody that's been around long enough knows that Donald Trump's name is synonymous with New York. Trump goes with New York the way Knicks go with New York, the way Statue of Liberty goes with New York, the way the Twin Towers went with New York, the way the Empire State Building goes with New York. What are we talking about here? Aside from the fact that he's the president, not allowing Donald Trump to go to the Knicks game, which may possibly be their championship game. What the fuck planet are we on right now? What universe are we in right now? And before anybody tries to come at me sideways, I lost my shit when they called themselves banning Charles Oakley from the Garden. Do y'all remember that back in 2017? Do y'all remember the rant that I went on? When they called themselves banning Charles Oakley from the damn Garden? Did y'all see me lose my shit? Now watch what he says. I want you to hear what this clown, because that's all he is. He's a clown. I want you to hear what this clown had to say. Now watch this.
I am dead serious. It is selfish. It is narcissistic.
Guys, she's so...
I don't like it at all. This is a sports network. This is a sports show. I'm not going to engage in politics or policy. This is strictly a basketball segment. This president has no business showing up in New York City. I am dead serious. It is selfish. It is narcissistic. It is ridiculous that he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were.
How is it ridiculous? I'm still trying to understand this shit. How is it narcissistic? How? How? I'm sorry. There isn't enough hate in the world. There isn't enough hate in this world to hate someone this much. I'm sorry. There isn't. I can't even comprehend this shit.
That he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were Obama, George W.
He said, what the fuck is wrong with this damn button?
I don't like it.
Bro, TikTok, get your shit together.
I don't like it at all. Clark, I've been instructed that I got to go straight to the garden for George W. Clinton. I don't give a damn. It is narcissistic. It is ridiculous that he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were Obama.
You're a lying piece of shit. Does anybody in here believe for 1 second, let's say for argument's sake, that the Chicago Bulls was about to win a championship? Let's say for argument's sake that the Chicago Bulls was about to win a championship in Chicago and Barack Obama was in office and he decided to go to the game. Do y'all honestly think that this would be the reaction? They would be happy as pigs in shit if Obama went to a championship game in Chicago. Matter of fact, anywhere for that matter. If Barack Obama decided to go to this game. You know, I think it's beautiful that the president is supporting the team like this and showing up to the game. I think it's phenomenal. They really think we believe this stupid shit. This is one of those moments where I have to ask myself, why? Why did you do it, President Trump? Why? Why? Because, like, yo, at this point, I got to ask myself, why even, bro? I don't know if it's worth all of this hate, bro. I don't even know if it's worth all of this hate, bro. To be hated this much just because you became president. Bro, I've never, when has this country ever been the type of country to where if you became the president, you became the most hated person in the country? When? When? I'm asking all of you Gen Xers in here, every last one of you that grew up in America, when? When? When did becoming the president make you the most hated individual in the country? And I've said it before. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. All of these assholes, all of these jerks, they don't even realize the presidency is not just Donald Trump. They don't even realize the irreparable damage they are doing to the office of the presidency. You're not supposed to do this. If someone is elected president, you're supposed to respect the office of the presidency. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to tear down your own president for the whole world to see. See, the interesting thing is the presidency of the United States will never have the same prestige that it used to have, not because of Donald Trump's actions, but because of all of these sore losers that have not been able to deal with the fact that he won the first time and the second time. They can't deal with it. So because they can't deal with it, like a bunch of spoiled ass brats, like a bunch of petulant children, I'm going to complain about it for the entire time he's in office. And it's like, Jesus Christ, grow the fuck up. Grow up. Joe Biden got in office. I could not stand Joe Biden. Did I sit here day in and day out complaining about him? No. Sonia Jordan said, can't believe you like Trump. I can't believe you're in my fucking chat room. Bye. This is the most childish shit I've ever seen in my life. You had Marco Rubio in front of Congress, and you know what they were asking him? They was asking him if Trump has been in any meetings falling asleep. What? This is what they were asking him. They had him in front of a committee to ask him whether or not Donald Trump fell asleep in a meeting. How many times have we seen Joe Biden sleep? How many? Did you hear a single Republican holding a committee to ask Democrats about Joe Biden falling asleep? And then you got Stephen A. Smith sitting his ass up here talking about something. The president doesn't need to show up. You know what I would do if I was Donald Trump? Not only would I go to that game, but I would have Secret Service go over to wherever Stephen A. Smith is and tell him, hey, come in for a second. The president want to talk to you. And when they bring him over there, I would look him straight in the face and I would say, I'm at the game, bitch. Now what? Because we all know what you're going to do, Stephen A. Smith. Or nobody forgot about LeBron G-checking you in front of everybody. Nobody forgot about LeBron walking up on you and now all of a sudden you sitting there with your possum face, duck lips talking about. Y'all be trying to say that President Trump is petty. Nah, he ain't petty enough. He ain't petty enough, bro. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me in that position. It couldn't be me in that position. There's no way. It could not be me in that position. I guarantee you, niggas be talking shit. They wouldn't be talking shit long. I guarantee you, after a couple of demonstrations, they wouldn't be talking shit no more. Like, hey, Trump don't play. I wouldn't be talking like that. He don't play that shit. I'm talking about I'd be flagrant with it. I'd be flagrant with it. I would be flagrant with it, like to the point where dudes would be like, yo. Be like, yo, he be bugging. I don't know what type of time he on, but he be tripping. He be tripping like, because it's like enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Like, how much more disrespect does he have to, like, how much more disrespect does he have to tolerate? Like, how you gonna tell this man he can't go to the and before they was talking about that? Oh my God! Did y'all see everybody online crying about the reflecting pool? Do you see the way it looks now compared to what it looked like before?
Guys,
Look at this. This is what it looks like now compared to what it looked like before. And they was mad. They were mad that Donald Trump did this. Like, can you believe this shit, bro? angry. That's why, bro, when I'm on panels now, and somebody starts bringing up Donald Trump, like I don't even want to go back and forth with nobody. I don't. Like, because at this point, it's like, okay, there's something wrong with y'all mentally. You're mentally challenged. Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong. And it just proves one thing about our overall society. It proves that when it comes to our overall society, there are so many of us out here that are just weak-minded. You feel me? Just so weak-minded that all the media has to do is keep hammering. Sooner or later, you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't like Trump. That's all they do. Just wave after wave. Every day. Trump ain't this, Trump ain't this, Trump ain't this, Trump ain't this, Trump ain't this. And some people, they just eventually they buckle. Eventually they buckle. Eventually they fold. And it just shows you how many people are weak-minded, that can't think for themselves, that it's whatever the media tells them, that's what it's going to be. Whatever the media tells them, that's what it's going to be. And you want to know what's crazy? What's crazy is, let's see, question, Angryman. Yo, check this out. Don't ask me no questions if you're not going to put it in the super chat. If you're not going to put it in the super chat or Cash App, don't ask me no questions. Don't ask me nothing. Our government has been infiltrated by Israel. Well, yep, you're gone. Bye. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. That's another thing. If you come in here with some anti-Semitic rhetoric, you're getting up out of here too. If you come in here with some anti-Semitic rhetoric, you're getting up out of here too with the quickness. With the quickness. Like my chat room, yo, I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you. And I'm gonna say this again. My chat room is not a billboard for your propaganda. My chat room is not a billboard for your propaganda. So stop coming in here, spamming the chat with your opinions about geopolitics, because I really don't care. You wanna show the world what you think about geopolitics? Start a YouTube channel. and say all of that shit on your channel. Stop coming over here. I don't know where that shit be coming from. Stop coming over here with your anti-Semitism. I done said it 1,000,000 times, and I'm not going to keep saying it. As hard as y'all be going in the paint, what you need is some double S's on your damn on your shoulders and a swastika tattoo. But I tell you what, since we got to deal with that, we need 10 people to support the show. We need 10 people to hit the Cash App or the Super Chat to support the show. But that's funny. Like people are coming to your chat rooms. They don't know who you got in your family or what your bloodline is, and just automatically start hurling racial insults. Just instantly, just come in here and want to disparage a whole group. That shit is crazy. But look at this clown right here. Watch this. Check out this clown right here.
You're a big Knicks fan, obviously. President Trump is going to the game tonight. Your reaction to that?
So I've had a few things to say about Donald Trump going to the Knicks game. And
Trump had no right touching the
What do you expect?
You're a big Knicks fan.
Now, here's the funny thing. What would they have done if Donald Trump would have given a press conference with a Knicks hat on? I'll wait. What would they have done if Donald Trump had given a press conference with a Knicks hat on? They would have lost their minds. They would have said it was unprofessional. They would have said all kinds of shit. They would have said all kinds of shit. But here come this clown. Here come this clown.
And obviously, President Trump is going to the game tonight. Your reaction to that?
so I've had a few things to say about Donald Trump going to the Knicks game. And
And just for the record, this is the fakest Negro that has ever existed in the history of Negroes. This is by far one of the phoniest, fakest individuals I've ever seen in my life. In my life.
at this point, it's game day. And I think Knicks fans just want to enjoy game 3, the first home game that we've had in 27 years. But it also is not clear to me that Donald Trump is a big Knicks fan. I mean, does this guy even know the difference?
You're a big Knicks fan, obviously.
And, at this point, it's game day. And I think Knicks fans just want to enjoy game 3, the first home game that we've had in 27 years. But it also is not clear to me that Donald Trump is a big Knicks fan. I mean, does this guy even know the difference between Karl Rove and Karl Anthony Towns?
When has Donald Trump not been a Knicks fan? When has Donald Trump not been a Knicks fan? Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean with this bullshit? Do you see how they just get in front of the camera and just lie through their teeth? And everybody just accepts it. Everybody just accepts it. Well, yeah, he said it, so it must be true. He said it. He said Donald Trump isn't a Knicks fan, so because he said it, it must mean it's true.
I don't think so. He's just injecting himself into the NBA Finals because he always has to bring the MAGA circus into town.
Just like your black ass is doing right now with that damn hat on your head. I swear, bro, I hate the Democrats. You hear me? With a passion. I cannot stand these devious, lying demons, bro. I can't stand them. Whoo, I can't stand them. I cannot stand, bro. Oh, my God. I swear, a lot of these politicians are lucky that I don't see them out and about on the street. Because if somebody's recording that day, you're going to hear a mouthful. You're going to hear me, oh my God. If I were to see him on the street, the amount of shit that I would talk, I guarantee you everybody in the vicinity would break out their phones and start recording. I would curse a blue streak. I would go in, bruh. He would have to pretend like he didn't hear me. He would have to act like he didn't hear me and just keep walking straight. He would have to act like he don't hear me, bruh. That go for him. That go for Don Lemon. That go for any of them. If you ever see me in public, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. I'm going to talk so much shit. You, by the time you get to your car, you gonna feel nothing but shame. Because I'm gonna talk cash shit. I'm gonna talk cash shit. And it's probably gonna start with, oh, if it ain't the sellout ass, well, bro, I'm a bruh. Yeah, he would cry in the car. By the time I get done giving him a piece of my mind, he would be in the car like damn, he had to say all of that. Shit. Damn, he had to say all of that. He had to do me like that. I can't stand them, bro. I can't stand them because I know because they're devious. They're liars. They're liars, bro. They're liars. And see, the thing about it is they're smart enough to know that the average American is not equipped to dissect those lies. They know the average American is not doing enough research to know that they're full of shit. Like right now, there's a bunch of people that are younger that don't know nothing about Donald Trump. So when he stands up there and says Donald Trump ain't a Knicks fan, a lot of these younger folks that's not Gen Xers, they'll believe that shit. They'll be like, yeah, Donald Trump ain't no Knicks fan, but any of us that are Gen Xers that's been around long enough, we know he been a Knicks fan. They're just so crooked, and it's painfully obvious. It's painfully obvious. It's right there. It's right there. Shout out to Constructicon. He said, receive your book today. Thanks, bro. No problem. I'm still waiting on the others to come in. They should be in this week so I can send everybody else's books out. Yeah, but here's the funny thing. This is what you notice. It said sports are an important part of American culture. President Trump has always been a sports fan. Yeah. He went to the football game. He went to the NFL game. He went to, like, I can't name how many times he done went to UFC events. Like, he's always been a sports fan. So I'm like, what makes me mad about this, and I don't understand why everybody else isn't outraged. What makes me mad about this is New York City is one of the most prominent cities in America. The Knicks are quite possibly getting ready to do some historic shit. They haven't won a championship since 1973. So they haven't won a championship since before I was born. The last time they won a championship was 5 years before I was born. So here you have this legendary sports team getting ready to win a historic championship in one of the most prominent cities in America, which also happens to be the same city that the current president is from, that he made a name for himself in that city. And these motherfuckers is talking about he can't go to the game like he ain't even part of America. And he's the president. I'm I just want, you know what I want? I want shit to go back to the way it was. I want shit to go back to the world that we all know, because this ain't it. This ain't it. When I first saw this shit, I was so confused. I'm still confused. It doesn't make any sense to me. He's the sitting president. He's from New York. He's a proud New Yorker. How the hell do you tell a man who is famous in New York before he even became president Donald Trump was famous before he even became a reality TV star. Donald Trump has been famous in New York going all the way back to the damn 80s. And you're going to tell that man this would be wrong even if he wasn't president. I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it, bro. I can't comprehend it. It's the craziest shit. Like this takes the cake out of everything that has happened in recent years. This takes the cake. This takes the cake. Like I would love to ask Stephen A. Smith, what is your reasoning other than your political aspirations? Because that's the funniest shit in the world. This goofy motherfucker, he really thinks he's going to run for president. You know, that's why every time any type of political topic comes up, he can't wait to part his lips and run his mouth. He genuinely thinks he's going to run for president. And I can tell you right now, Stephen A. Smith, if you happen to see this shit, if you think for 1 second that I'm going to vote for your trifling ass, you done lost your damn mind. You done lost your rabbit ass mind if you think I'm voting for you. That shit ain't gonna happen, my G. That shit ain't gonna happen, gang. But he genuinely thinks he's gonna run for president.
It's that time again. We going up. It's time to read the super chats.
Yo, make sure you guys are supporting the show. Like I said, we need 10 more people to support the super chat or Cash App. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Rodney. Rodney said, are you putting a phone number in the comment section? No. Why are you asking me if I'm putting a phone number in the comment section? No, I ain't putting no phone number in the comment section. Who's putting a phone number in the comment section? Let's see. Who else do we got? Shout out to Jaron.
That's that. Be no energy.
Shout out to 63rd Samurai, said just a little something too much too much for the work you do. Appreciate you.
That's that. Be no energy.
Let's see. Shout out to Justin, said not much, but here to support. Shout out to Ambush, said the nerve of these niggas. Facts. Shout out to Treese. Treese says support. Shout out to AJ. He said Dodge City, Second Amendment movement. Appreciate you. See who else we got. Shout out to Loso Way for the 24-month membership. He said, blessings, AM, been rocking with you since 2015, and it's super dope to see how the Lord has blessed you over the years because you put in the work. May he continue to bless you and keep bringing the truth. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Convertible Creed. He says, salute, AM. Shout out to MTC. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I appreciate you. Shout out to Chill Let Go. Said, before you close the door of the Uber, you should have said, by the way, I voted for Trump 45-47. Boo, 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 boo. That would have been funny as hell. Shout out to the lowly one. Said, I try to stop myself from looking at anything political to keep the stress off. I know that's right. Shout out to Bootzilla. Said, Caitlin Collins equals old chiseled face having, yeah. And I tell you something else too. Another reason why I don't look at certain stuff is because even on the conservative side, people be making videos where they be exaggerating. You feel me? Like somebody put out a video and they'll say, Trump just had a major win. And then you go look at the video and it don't even be nothing serious. So even on the right, even on the content creators that's leaning right, even they've gotten to the point where they're exaggerating shit. And so it's like, bro, come on, man. Ain't nobody like, stop it. Like, stop it. Stop it. I can't deal with it. And see, here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. The funny thing is, why are you putting that number in there? I don't even know what that number is, and why are you putting it in there? Free to listen. Why are you putting that number in there like that? What is that? It's a song from E.T. What song? I don't know what song y'all talking about. Like, if I'm being totally honest, I don't know what song y'all talking about, bro. It's a song from the 80s. Which song? That's not the Tony song, is it? Where they had the phone number in it, is it? That's the title of the song. I don't remember that song, bro. If I'm being totally honest, I don't remember the title of that song, bro. I don't remember that song. Hold on. But it's all good. We can do a quick Google search. We can do a quick Google search real quick. So free to listen. I'm going to ask you a question. And I need you to answer this. What's the reason that you're putting this song in the super chat? Because someone in the chat asked for a number. Yep. Shout out to Bootzilla. Bootzilla says Supergirl looks like Will Polluter. Look it up. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Shout out to the lowly one, says, so Stephen A will call DT a narcissist, but he won't address LeBron James still hanging around in the NBA. Well, you know why he won't address LeBron James? Because he don't want to get G-checked again. He don't want LeBron James embarrassing his ass again. Let's see. Shout out to Free to Listen. He says, sometimes I wonder, AM, even though not justified or mentioned by Jesus, but will a antichrist be created by human hate and Trump barely goes to events? Free to Listen said, no, AM, give Trump the N-word pass just for Stephen A. Smith. No, we're not doing all of that. That's extra. Shout out to Jason, said, thank you, Angryman. Appreciate you. Shout out to, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this today, but we're not going to keep doing these $2. I'm not going to keep reading these joints out loud. I'm going to just let y'all know right now. Free to Listen said, Trump always at Tyson event shaking Don's hand. Shout out to brother Noopsy. Shout out to viewer in Atlanta for gifting a membership. Shout out to Free to Listen. Shout out to Deshaun, said, count me in as one of the 10 AM. Been a while. Digging myself out of debt, but I hate these Democrats too. And hit the like button, Beano Nation always. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that contributed. Let me see if anybody else. Yeah, shout out to everybody that contributed. I appreciate it. So, let me give you guys my thoughts on this entire situation. Because this is a ridiculous situation. Anyway you cut it. He said N-word pass for Trump is crazy work. Yeah, I know that's a little over the top. We're not giving nobody passes to say the N-word. We're not doing that shit. Like I said, enough is enough. I'm sick of it. And I know y'all are sick of it too. We have reached a point in this country where a grown man cleaning a pool and wanting to watch a basketball game gets treated like a national emergency. Not a policy, not a law, a pool and a Knicks game. That's where we're at. Like, I'm not here to tell you to love Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump. I'm just trying to tell you that at this point, the hate has officially gotten stupid. It's off the rails. It doesn't even make sense at this point. Trump derangement syndrome is out of control. It's the dumbest thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. So you got the Knicks in the finals. First home finals game at the Garden in 27 years. The president says he wants to come to game 3. That's it. And they're treating that like it's a crime. Now I want you to think with me for 1 second. Presidents go to games. First pitches, Super Bowls, courtside seats. It's normal. How many times have you seen Barack Obama courtside? How many? But the second this president says he wants to go see a Knicks game, a man going to a basketball game becomes selfish and an outrage. What did Stephen A. Smith say? He's a narcissist and he's trying to make it about him. And are we serious? Ask yourself this question. Is this about the game or is it just about him? Is it yet another opportunity to hate this man? Now, you got Stephen A. Smith, right? Stephen A. Smith went on First Take and called it selfish and narcissistic. He said the president has no business showing up in New York City, his hometown. His hometown. And then he had the nerve to say that it wasn't partisan, that he'd say the same thing about any president. Okay. I'll give him this. There is a real conversation about disruption. And we'll get to that in a second. But let's keep it 100. We all know if a different president wanted to cheer on a New York team, this would be a feel-good story, not a meltdown. So is this principle or is this a reflex dressed up as principle? Is it really about a disruption? Is it really about some sort of situation where it's like, oh, he's going to distract away from, or is it just another excuse for you to hate this man? Because that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It feels like Donald Trump can't even wipe his behind sideways without everybody knowing about it and having an issue about it, doing think pieces on Donald Trump's bathroom habits. Like when will we as a country finally start calling these people out for this behavior? Like, how much do we have to hear about how these people hate Donald Trump before we finally start calling them out on the mental illness that they clearly have? Because that's what this is. It's mental illness. So I'm going to say it again. When are we going to call these people out for the obvious, mental illness that they are suffering from. Now, this is the other side's best point, right? Because I'm not going to straw man anybody. Fans get told to show up 2 hours early for security because the president is coming. The watch party outside the Garden gets canceled, right? Now, that's a legitimate inconvenience. If you pay 5 figures for a ticket, I get being annoyed in a security line. That part is fair, right? But be honest. Be honest about what you're mad at. Be mad at the inconvenience if that's the truth. Like, don't dress it up as I had to wait in line and this man is a threat to democracy for watching basketball. You know, one of those is a real complaint. The other is Trump derangement syndrome. And the thing that you got to ask yourself is this: would they have to have this much ridiculous security? Would they have to have canceled the watch party outside of the Garden if the media hadn't created so much ridiculous hatred for this man that he's always worried about somebody trying to take him out? Y'all do realize the part of the reason they have to go through this entire protocol and have extra security and do all of this stuff is because the media has made the American public hate this man so much that every single time he goes anywhere or does anything, you got to make sure that everything is extra secure. But you know, nobody's going to think about that, right? And then on top of that, what makes it even worse is you've got the crowd being organized to boo him the second he shows up. Now, look, you can boo whoever you want. This is America. Boo whoever you want. I'm not even going to trip about that. But the fact that you actually have individuals organizing people to boo. Like, yeah, when he shows up, make sure that we all boo him in tandem. Make sure that everybody is, lift every voice and make sure everybody's heard. We're going to boo him when he shows up. But for all of the rational people, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Do you realize that we've turned everything into this sort of us against them duality, dichotomy, where it's like, oh, well, if you support the president, if you like Trump, then you're against us and we hate you and we can't even have Thanksgiving dinner with you because you're a Trump supporter. When have we ever done that? When have we ever done that? Like, we've never done that in this country. We have never tried to ostracize people simply because they have a different political view or because they voted for a president that, if you voted for that president and I voted for the other person that was running for president, that didn't mean we had to hate each other. But here we go with this crap. You can't go to a game, clean a monument, or exist in public without half the country treating your presence like an act of war. This is a sitting president we're talking about. How is that healthy for any of us? left, right, in the middle. When did the president coming to a game, sitting in a stadium seat, when did that become a national tragedy? When did that become something that we have to freaking get on TV and make a big fuss about? Now, the funny thing about it is the one that shows us how far this derangement syndrome is gone. The one thing that happened recently that shows us just how ridiculous this has gotten. The Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool has been a filthy, algae-filled mess for years. Everybody who's been to DC has seen it. Green and nasty, right? Trump says, I'm cleaning it up. They cleaned it, repainted it, got it ready for the country's 250th birthday on July 4th. And guess what? People are outraged. They're mad he cleaned a pool. Not mad about a policy that's hurting your wallet. They're mad a dirty landmark got cleaned. How does that work? Could somebody please explain to me, why is it every single time Trump does something to clean up parts of DC, like they're mad at him? He cleaned up the crime. And they were mad about that. They were upset about that. You literally had people from DC saying that the city is the cleanest it's ever been, that the crime has went down, and they were mad about it. They were mad about it. Trump said they pulled 10 dumpster loads of garbage out of that pool. And the response wasn't good. It needed it. It was, well, it's just a paint job. He's just, all he did was paint. And that's the other thing. The other funny thing is whenever Trump directs people to do stuff or orders people to do stuff, they act like he did it personally. If he says, well, they took 10 freaking dumpsters of garbage out of there, well, he didn't do anything but paint. It's like Trump didn't paint anything. That's just like they always do when they talk about renting to black people. Trump didn't want to rent to black people. So it's like, okay, so you thought that Trump was in the renter's office, approving applications. You thought that Trump was managing all of the buildings that he owns, like he's in every office and every single applicant has to talk to him, and he looked at him and said, you're black, so I'm not going to rent to you. That's what you think? Maybe the plumbing underneath the thing needs work. That would be a fair critique. Critique the project. Critique the cost. Like it ran north of 14 million, right? Now, you can have a real conversation about that if you want. You could talk about how much it costs. But that's not what most of the outrage was about. The outrage was that he did it. Now, if this had been Barack Obama who cleaned that same pool, they would be praising him. They would have been talking about it for years. In fact, if Barack Obama did half of the things that Donald Trump has done, they would have crowned him the greatest president of all time years ago. And that's just the reality. Now, any of you that don't want to believe that, you obviously haven't been paying attention. But it's the double standard, right? The last big renovation of that same pool was actually under Barack Obama in 2012. It cost about $34 million. It shut the pool down for 2 years, right? And a month later, it was green with algae again. So yeah, your boy Barack Obama tried to clean it up and literally spent $34 million over 2 years and still didn't fix it. And where was the outrage then? Why was nobody upset then? There was no outrage then. It was the same pool, same problems, different president. The only thing that changed is whose name was on it. Right? Now, that right there is Trump derangement syndrome. That is a prime example of Trump derangement syndrome, even if you don't want to admit it. And y'all know how I do. I hold everybody to the same standard. If Barack Obama spent $34 million over 2 years to clean it and still didn't clean it, but Trump spent 14 and actually successfully cleaned it, why do we continue to praise Barack Obama for being this great president and he can't even do something? He can't even get something that simple done, right? And here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is, whenever these people complain about Donald Trump, right, they never really complain about policy. They always complain about these quirky little things, right? They don't go in on the economy. They don't go in on immigration. They don't really go in on the wars. They don't really go in on spending. They pay lip service to it. Like they'll say they don't like the war, or they'll say they don't like immigration, the immigration policy, or they'll complain about the price of gas, but they never really explain to you why. Like they can't explain why the price of gas is up, whether it's going to stay up. They can't really explain to you why they don't like his immigration policy. They can't really explain to you why they don't like the fact that we're at war. They'll just say, because we're spending money. We've always spent money. Even when we're not at war with countries, we're spending money aiding those countries. Hell, we spend just as much money helping these countries as we do when we go to war with them. But they act like they don't understand that. So instead of really talking about those things, and I would argue that the reason why they don't want to talk about those things because they don't have a leg to stand on. So what they do is they get mad about him going to a Knicks game, or the possibility of him going to a Knicks game. And then they get mad at him for cleaning, for having a dirty pool clean, for getting rid of the algae in the freaking reflective pool or reflector pool, whatever you call that damn thing in front of the Lincoln Monument. And if you remember, yeah, there was a reflection. It used to be black. If you stood out there and look, if you've ever, and I've been out there, if you stood out there and looked at that reflector pool, it was black. Now it's blue. And it's reflecting the sky. It looks wonderful. But see, this hatred that they have for Donald Trump, the media has put a battery in their back or wound them up like a toy soldier for so long that at this point, them hating him is on autopilot. It's on autopilot. And all they have to do is occasionally throw something out there and everybody latches on to it because they're on autopilot. They refuse to think for themselves. They refuse to think for themselves. And see, that's the entire reason why on my channel, I talk the way I talk, because at the end of the day, I want you to think for yourself. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me, but what you do have to do is be logical. What you do have to do is actually make sense. Because when it comes to this whole Donald Trump going to the Knicks game and cleaning the reflector pool and all of this crap, bruh, enough is enough. We're tired. All of us Americans that are right-leaning, conservative, or Trump supporters, we're tired. We're tired of hearing it. You don't like him. Okay, cool. You hate him. Okay, cool. Fine. You've told us. We know. We know. We know where you stand. Can you keep the shit to yourself at this point? We don't even got to talk about it. We can talk about something else. We can talk about something else because we're tired of hearing it. And you know what happens after people get tired of hearing shit. Okay. So we don't want to take it there. We don't want it to go there. But it's getting to the point where it's like, bro, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. Just like my grandmother used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just keep it to yourself. Because we not only do we not want to hear it, but we don't care. We don't care at this point. Like he done already got, this is his second term. So we got what we wanted. You feel me? We got what we wanted. What y'all should be doing, instead of you worrying about what Donald Trump is currently doing, what you should be doing is worrying about who the hell you're going to put as a candidate in 2028. That's what you need to be worried about. That's what you need to be worried about. Like real talk. But with that being said, man, I'm about to get up out of here. We need a sponsor. We don't have not one sponsor for the show. Can we get one sponsor? Can we get one sponsor to take us up out of here? Anybody that drops 100 or more will be a sponsor. Can we get one sponsor? Yes, no, maybe so. Matter of fact, if you plan on sponsoring the show, press a 1 in the chat room. If you plan on sponsoring the show, press a 1 in the chat room. Anybody? Bueller? 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 Anybody? Bueller? Let's get to these other super chats.
It's that time again. We going up.
It's time to read the super chats.
Shout out to Mr. Walker for the 29-month membership. He says, salute, OG. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Constructicon. He said, if New York wins the championship, it's going to be so lit. You'll be able to see it from space. Been waiting my whole life to see the Knicks win at all. Word. Shout out to Dig Thug. He said, did you hear they are trying to remove mother and father from court in New York? Yeah, I heard about that goofiness. But shout out to everybody that came through. I appreciate y'all for showing love. Those of you that did support, appreciate you. I'm about to get up out of here because I got some more work to do, more content to drop. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Deuces.
The session is closed. The board is dismissed.
I gave you the blueprint, now go build a state. Stop arguing with broke, man, stop debating with fate. We don't negotiate value, we dictate the price. You watch the show for free, I just gave you a slice. But the real ones know where the equity lives. We taking everything, we got nothing to give. The manual is waiting, you know where it's at. This ain't a gamble, it's a guaranteed bet.
Build, protect, lead. Go and plant the seed. Build, protect, lead. That's the code we need. Go to the side, yeah, secure the command. The Angryman channel, the standard of the land.
TheAngrymanChannel.com.
Get the shirt, get the boots.
Start watching, start working. We up.
The session is closed. The board is dismissed.